that did. There we go. That worked. I had to unplug it and plug it back in. Now YouTube has some audio. All right. That's much better. Still be a delay though. A little bit of a delay on the audio. I thought it was just me. Y'all gotta holler at me. You never know what I'm doing wrong around here. All right. Oh no, somebody found out they passed today. Oh yeah, I was wondering about, we had a bunch of people take it last week, never did get the results, even though they took it online, they didn't get the results next year. My laptop is a Lenovo, Lenovo. It's a flippy one where I can flip the screen over and just write on the tablet and don't need the keyboard, or I can use it as a laptop. Thanks for letting me know. Hey, Go-Kart. Sarah, she passed too. Oh my goodness. That is awesome. She helped me out after her exam, let me know a little bit about how it was going in January, so that is wonderful. Could you please repeat the regarding the free multiple attempts? Yes. So their AAPC gives money to the chapters and lets them have grants. And there is a grant application you can fill out. Here is the link. Not that you can click on it, but it's AAPC member area chapters scholarship application. Go to that website, fill out the application. They do monthly drawings or determinations on who they're going to give the money to each month. And if you have a small chapter, and you know, how many people are really going to go through the trouble of filling out a request? You know, not very many. Everybody will think it's a great idea, but actually following through and doing it will be limited. So I think your chances of getting it is pretty good if you just go and fill it out. I think because they do it monthly, that you could essentially, you know, reapply every month. Totally up to you guys, but the squeaky wheel gets what they want, you know. I think it looked like she asked for enough money to take 2 extra attempts, and that's what they awarded her. So that's $499, right? So that's awesome. So be sure and go there. Yep, and fill that out. Thank you for the guacamole, Stacy. Let's see. Now, where are we at? I'm just now getting back to all the messages. Thank you for the superstar, Emily. You're awesome. Being a subscriber and stuff. Now, wait a minute. I had, who else was it that passed? I had Sarah, she passed, and I can do something about that. We want to do something about that. No, I don't want to do that. I want to enhance sound effects, and we want to cheer for Sarah for passing. Was that your first or second attempt? I can't remember. She passed. Thank you for everything. Oh, I just love that for her. Thank you for the perfume bottles. Thank you, Stacy. And congratulations to Sarah. Yes, yes, yes. And then I had somebody else. Hey, Samantha. Guzman, she passed today too. Congratulations. Awesome. That is so great. Congratulations. That is wonderful. Miss Queen says she can't wait to take hers. She's doing hers March 11th. Dariana's mama, she asked if there was any tips anybody wants to pass along. Samantha says she needs to take it, but she's scared she's going to fail again. I'm a subscriber to YouTube, and every time you go live, I can't watch. I don't know why. That is so weird. I'm live right now. And now Sunday night when I went live, that is for members who are members of the YouTube club, which is like $5 a month. But all subscribers can view it. But when I save it for later, I save it just for the members to be able to watch. It's their extra bonus content for supporting the channel. But I'm live right now on YouTube, Miss Grace. So see if you can't just click on my face and you should be thrown in to where you can see both screens on yours. Hey, Baking, good to see you. We had 2 pass this weekend. Yay, yay, yay. Does your employer provide remote computer? Most do, because it needs to be, you don't want, I mean, even though you will be logging in through multiple firewalls, you don't want the download of stuff to end up, depending on how well your IT department is, to be on somebody's personal computer. That just, I mean, when I save stuff, I have to save to a file and save it on my file server and never print to my laptop or something. In an emergency, when things aren't working and maybe their system is down, but I need to get into it on my personal computer, I can use it for emergencies. But most medical businesses will send you your own equipment to utilize, because you got to be careful with patient records. You did your application, but you didn't hear a response, Dawn. Depending on how long it's been, fill it out again. If it's been 30 days, fill it out again. Add more info. If you have any health limitations, if there's anything you're struggling with, if there's been any tornadoes in your area, anything that could help, that has been any kind of hardship for you, be sure and fill that all in. I have no idea about, why do you have to be a member for 9 months before filling out the application? That doesn't make any sense. If it's a grant, it's a grant. And if you just became a member and a hurricane comes through and you lose all your books and you need to buy new books because your house got blown away and that's too much of a hardship for you, then I don't know why that wouldn't work. I don't know. I've never heard anybody say anything like that before. Can you do a chart for the update on the hernia codes showing the deleted and the new ones? Yes, I have that chart available actually in my shop. It's $20. If you go to the medicalcodingbyjen.com, it's the second download of that. Or, well, if you get it on my website, it's just a zip file and it'll be the second file. If you do it on Etsy, it's the second download. There's 3 downloads with that section. But I go through the entire CPT book, show you how to and where to write the new codes in and how I do it with my own chicken scratch. And then I also show you what the new codes look like in print, so that you, in case you can't read my handwriting, you can see how it's typed out and looks. Yes, congratulations, everyone. Yep. This is for medical coding. If you ever wanted to be a medical coder, we have that. Do you know of any way to print the AAPC ebook pages? Yes, I do. I don't know if the whole class wants to go through that kind of lesson. Let me see something real quick. Let me see if I can. Where am I going to be at? I'm going to be here. But I don't know. Let's see. Vita Source, whatever book that is. SOURCE. Yes, Vita Source. Thank you so much for helping me meeting the goal, letting TikTok know y'all are happy with me. Let me see if I can figure this out real quick. So there's stuff I like to copy on VitaSource, of course, and go into, where is my bookshelf? Here we go. So if you go to the VitaSource website and you're in a book or one of their PDF books or ebooks that they have, the hard part is it won't copy like an entire chapter. Like I can't go all the way through this and copy all of that and hit paste. But I can copy probably half of that, you know, whatever it is. I can copy like that. You have to hit that, and then you go to your Word document and don't pay any attention to any of the answers. There we go. You just have to paste. I like the third paste. Some of them, there'll be charts in it, and you'll have to use the very first one. So anytime there's a chart, you're going to have to stop, copy the chart by itself, and then hit this first paste. But most of the time, the last paste is the perfect one. And then you just have to go back and forth, and copy, paste. Then you save it into your Word document, and you're good to go. I've done that before on college books and stuff, so it works just fine. If you're in, let me see, I don't know if this is hooked up. Let's see, if I go to Blackboard, and go into my course. It's probably what you're talking about. And then, I don't know if any of my courses have anything study guide wise, but because these courses don't have anything like the other ones do, but it does have a PDF that you automatically get to download. It automatically puts it here, and it's already in a PDF form, which is nice, but you can copy, paste it into a Word document if you needed to. But if it's these videos, just a screen print is probably all you could do or something like that, but it's not intended for any of that, of course. And there's a thing that says don't copy, you know, this is just for your own workup and your own looking at. Don't republish it, transmit it anywhere. You want to be sure and honor their work and stuff that they put into this and not share it openly over the internet. But you can get it into a Word document so that you can make things with it, like the what am I talking about? The flashcards and things, which are typed out, which is kind of nice. But don't forget, your VitaSource book also has resources Not only will VitaSource read the books to you in case you're, a lot of their like 2023, maybe their study guides and stuff come in VitaSource. Under more options, you can have it read it to you out loud while you're doing laundry, which I loved because that was great.
Evaluation and management,
I could walk around the house and still do things while it was reading and I was learning some of the stuff. Plus, there is an option somewhere in here to make some flashcards. Yeah, let me push that back to smaller. Oh, wrong one. I go over here. One of these, and I probably can't show it here because I have to have full screen, but it's that little star with the piece of paper way over here. That right there, you can make flashcards while you're doing something in this book. You can do E&M flashcards. I started to make some right here. You see where it's got emergency room department, high level medical decision making. I made that one. You can make them in this pretty easily, which is kind of neat. But you can copy, but then you'll have to just copy one side and then copy the other side, which really defeats the purpose. I wish you could print these that you make right here. That would be nice. But anyway, that's what you can do with that book. Let's get back to the questions for today that I've got. I know a lot of people have already tried to answer this question for today. But hopefully that helps answer some of your question, Chastity. Do you know when you will have more 2023 notes in the shop? Yes, I'm hoping to get done with another section today and get the pictures taken and posted tonight as soon as I finish this live. Any tips on getting an entry-level job? Yes, watch some of my old YouTube videos with the repeat lives 2 weeks ago. I went over some really great ideas on how to find your job and some pretty aggressive measures to do ahead of time before you apply for a job at a particular location that will probably shock you and you won't even realize that you could have done something like that. So yes, please go look at my lives about 2 weeks ago. I went through 30-minute spiel on some really cool ideas. Dawn, you got approved too for a hardship application? Woo! That's awesome, Dawn. What are you going to do with it? That is great. That's 2 people that got approved for the grants. Good job. You just got your hip picks and we're still putting notes in there. I don't want to be behind. I am putting notes in my hip picks book, and I'll be putting even more notes in it to it this year. I've got some repeat lives and some actual hip picks book prep too on the YouTube. Dawn's going to use it for the books, the code bundle, the CPC study guide, and the practice exams. That's awesome. That's what you got approved for. That's great. Anointed. She's so awesome. I can't wait for Anointed to pass too. Thank you so much for doing all the tiny dienies. They were so cute. Let's see, what else can we do? Still looking for pizzas because I want a pizza. I'm hungry. Let me customize that and make it just 5. Confirm. All right, what's going on YouTube? Cynthia. How did you find out about medical coding? Because Maggie, I I was site supervisor. I did all the hiring and firing, moved my way up through the department. That way, ended up running the department because I like teaching, I guess. We had some immunization at the birthing center. Some new grads weren't doing the vaccines properly, so I volunteered to bring in the health department and have them do an education on all of our department for administering vaccines properly and storing them properly, and how important it was to keep your lunches out of the vaccine refrigerator and other things. And you have to make sure you capture the temperature in the refrigerator twice a day. A lot of people were forgetting that kind of stuff, and I just thought it was really important. I don't know. I audit everything. I've always audited everything in my whole life. And so when I did that, it pushed me towards more of an administrative role. And then I ended up running the department and doing all the hiring and firing and all that stuff. And then I kept volunteering for other stuff that I kept hearing admin saying they didn't want to do way back when PQRI codes came out, probably 20 years ago when those started coming out. No one wanted to audit their charts and make sure that the doctors were getting trained on that. Also, when we converted from paper charts over to electronic charts, I volunteered to stay and help out and train the physicians on the new EHR system. So really just volunteering. Anytime anybody grumbled about doing something, I volunteered for it. After I taught the doctors how to work in the new EHR system, I taught the staff and administration on the proper use of vaccines and storing them and how important it was to keep those temperatures. It just kept growing, and then everything they didn't want to do, I decided to do, and then I got too good at capturing the PQRI and other coding codes that I was offered a position directly in administration and away from patient care and dealing with the codes altogether. I took it for the extra money and all that, but I was really miserable for the first 2 years because I really missed patient care. Really, really missed being needed on the floor, people hollering my name. It took a while for me to like it. And then I did that for 3 years before I was allowed to just work from home. So, yeah, I've been doing it since 2013, ever since. So, that's how I got into it. Oh, Lake just got her CPT book today. Well, you're going to go to my website, right? Medical Coding by Jen. You're going to go look for that tab that says CPT Book Prep. You're going to click on every one of the pictures. They're all free there. It's going to tell you what to do throughout that entire book. And you're going to just start with that first picture and go fix all of those out-of-code sequences through the entire chart. Go write the page number down where they are at. And then on and on and on. Maggie got the hardship fund too. That is awesome. 3 of you guys. That is fantastic. That is just such good news. I've never seen anybody ever publicly announce that they got one. So I was beginning to wonder if anybody ever won a grant. So that's awesome to hear that so many of you guys have. So that's great. That's fantastic. I missed a lot of messages on TikTok, I'm sorry, and probably YouTube too, but I've got mods in here that can help answer. Thank you, Quiet Girl, for the pizza. You're awesome. Thank you for supporting the stream. I'm thinking about going to school for medical coding. You do not need to school. I can teach you how to pass for free. You do not need any prerequisites to take the exam with AAPC. All you need is your CPT book. Look for one on Amazon, AMA CPT 2023. Get that book in. Then you're going to do exactly what I just told that other girl to do. Go to my website, go to that tab. It's completely free. Start working in that book. Do everything on that page that it says to that book, and then continue to watch my free classes here Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 6:30 Arizona time zone, and I'll teach you how to pass the medical coding exam from the exam point of view. Once you get a job, medical coding is different at every location based off contracts and health plans and networks and global areas. So it's all going to be different. You'll learn that as you get hired. What you need is to be certified. And the only thing you need to do to be certified is to pass one exam. So if you want to do it the most fast and efficient way without spending 13 grand on some course that won't do you any good, because when you come out of it, you're going to be like, I can't pass the exam. There's no way I can't pass it, because you'll attempt it and you can't, because the courses do not help prepare you for the exam. All right. This question right here goes on and on and on forever. It's one of the new 2023 questions that you might end up seeing. If one MD is on call for another MD, you'll report the covering MD's hospital E&M services just as you would have reported the unavailable physician, right? If the unavailable physician saw the client before during the same hospital stay, you'll report a subsequent E&M even if the covering MD has never been seen by that client before, right? Is that true or false? You just started the course last week. Chastity, that's fine and dandy. What I want you to do is every time you're on Blackboard and you see an example or a coding rationale in every exam or chapter review question or every chapter exam question, you need to save them just like I have been doing with the rationale on a Word document for the whole entire course. Save them because you're going to need them, because you can add these examples to your coding books that you get to bring with you during your certification exam, since it is an open book exam. And if you have all those examples from your entire course written in your book, then you've got an entire course with you when you take your exam, and you don't have to memorize anything. Super handy dandy. Yeah, the chapters, videos go on and on for days. So does the PDF reading. Just have it read it to you out loud while you're doing laundry or something. But those final chapter exams or the reviews are that's really the core of what you need to pass the certification exam. Is this one true or false? Hey, Twinkle, good to see you. Take your time. I'm sorry, April, but it's okay. If you do have a degree, if you ended up with an associate's degree, that is perfectly fine. You will be able to be a department lead or supervisor because you do have the degree. And the other thing, April, is if you send in your associate's degree transcripts, no matter what year they are. I sent in mine from 1994 in 2019 to AAPC, and I was able to get my apprenticeship taken off. So those college credit hours will help, and you won't be an apprentice when you do pass your CPC. You will be a full-fledged one. So I have directions on how to do all that too on my website and in Discord and everything else. Twinkle, did you hear we got 3 people in our group who won the hardship grants? And we had 2 people pass their exam from last week. They took their online exam and they passed. Sorry, I gotta tell Twinkle in case she missed it. So exciting. Maggie, yes. Do I have any rules, cheat sheets, examples, modifiers, add-on codes? I do. All of that is included in my notes, which is in my shop. Sorry, it's hard seeing the question. I'm sure it is on YouTube. Let's see. Let me get this sucker bigger for you guys. That gonna make a big difference. There we go, YouTube. And there we go, TikTok. Is that better? We got 3 grants and 2 passes, unless I missed somebody. I got some falses and I got some trues. This one is true. Shet, you cannot have anything written in your book if you are taking the AAPC exam from another country. If you are outside of the United States, then you cannot. The testing facility that you go to will provide you with books. You don't even take your own books. But if you are taking your exam in the United States, that's a misnomer and people are just spreading false information. I've won awards, prizes from AAPC for my notes. Let's go. That is so cool. I don't know what that was, but that was amazing. That was cool. Thank you. Who did that? You can absolutely have notes in your book. Absolutely. It's actually encouraged. Next question. Let's think about these codes first, though. What kind of code is a 99245? What is your header for that code? They're moving April over to the claims department. Do you know of anyone who writes resumes? You don't need anybody to write your resume. Please don't pay somebody to do that. Your resume should change with every application you fill out. You just need your name, address, email address, cell phone number, relevant history, your certifications. Be sure and go to the CMS website, get the HIPAA and the fraud and abuse free certifications from there, along with your CPC, and then you just interchange your qualifications based off what their application says they're looking for. It should change every time you apply for somebody. I have a huge conversation about that in my repeat lives. Office consultation, good job. What about 44? Is that also a consultation? What about 222? What kind of code is the header for 222? This one's inpatient. And I think this one might be consult too. So we have 3 consults, right? I think. At least do that when you're taking your final exam, and you guys who are starting your brand new course with AAPC, don't ever read the questions. Start from the beginning of your course and don't read any questions. Try to answer the questions without reading one word from the question. If you need a word from the question, only search the question for that one word. We need to see if we have a valid consultation going to be able to take place. If an insurance company demands a consult, they don't get a consult. If the patient requests a consult, they don't get a consult. If Aunt Sally Sue comes in and says, you're going to refer my patient to see my cardiologist, they don't get a consult. The only way you get a consult is if it is one MD's idea to have another MD look at part of their patient's care. If one MD transfers total care over to another MD, there's no consult either. Whatever that MD sends to another MD must be one part of the total health care, like just cardiology, just urology, just one thing, okay? Neurology. And then they're going to get a report back that says, okay, for this neurological problem, you're going to take care of this patient by giving them this medicine, and I want to see them back yearly. That's the only way a consult happens, is that way. So knowing that guideline in our head, we're either going to give this patient an inpatient admit, or we're going to give them a consultation based off time or MDM, right? So let's see. So if we have moderate with 55 minutes, and we do have documentation that supports consultation services, which one do we code? Because it does say documentation does support for outpatient consultation services. So that means we're going to be okay for consultation. That means we can get rid of C. Now we just have to match up I got some A's and B's. Are y'all matching up time or MDM? What are we matching up here? Thank you so much for the 2,000 likes on TikTok and the 6 shares. Appreciate the thumbs up on YouTube too. We're A. Anybody confused on that one? Let me see. What have I got going on over here? Let's see. 2. I should have brought up that better book. I could do that real quick because turning this is going to be a pain. 2, 4, 2. 242 is straightforward with 20 minutes. 43 is low with 30 minutes. Our 44 is moderate with 40 minutes, but 45 is 55 minutes with high MDM. So that's their question. Do you go off time or do you go off MDM? Yeah, isn't that crazy? So for 2023, time can trump your MDM. If they spent that much time, you're going to bill that time for 2023. Something a little new. And you'll probably see a question like this on the exam where your MDM and your time don't match up. Just like, what if this was 20 minutes, but the thing was moderate? If your time didn't go along with it, that would have ended up being probably low, right? Makes sense? Thank you, Twinkle, for helping them out. Yep, that's why I like to find these. Thank you for the balloons. I almost picked those as the thing earlier. All right. What are these? What is 32, 24, 22, and 33? What are those things? What are they called? Thank you, thank you, thank you for all the balloons. They're so cute. Yeah, that's why it's, if you get that document that I've got, show you down here. I went through the 2022 book, and so what were we at? The 240s, 243s. I went through the entire book, and I would have, and you have something like this that would have showed you that this is how you need to change your 2022 book to make it into a 2023 book. I have that document, and you can change your time on these because they all changed just a hair. We got rid of history and exam, and we updated our times on all of these on this whole page. So that document will show you what I wrote beside each code, and then you'll also get a picture of what it looks like in the 2023 book, how it's written for us with the other books, so that in case you can't read my handwriting, you've got it typed out, but that will help. Plus, I sent you guys a document on Discord. If you haven't joined our Discord, it's a free thing. I even posted it in main chat again today. I've got this document I wrote up right here that's free. It's got, what if you coded it last year, this one, what will it be this year? And then there was some times differences on that. Like you go to the code and then the time is different, and this one's free document. So there's two sections of the time ones that are there. So that's in our Discord. So you just download the Discord app, set up your own account. It's free. No one's going to track you. I don't get to see your information or nothing. And then just go to my website, medicalcodingbyjen.com, and just go to the social media tab. When you get there, you just click join now, and that throws you in on the Discord, which is super handy dandy. And it'll throw you right into my server. Hit accept, and then you can see everything that's in my Discord server, which is great. Anyway, back to these numbers. What are these numbers? You're welcome, Dawn. Modifiers. Queen's got it. Good job. Those are modifiers. Good job. Everybody on YouTube got it too. Patrice, Jay, Lorraine, Suzanne, April, Shin, Adra. I'm sure I'm battering people's names. Jen, another Jennifer. And she's a subscriber too. Y'all are awesome. Michelle and Joanne. Are we going to keep the same tips that we noted in the previous 2022 E&M codes and add them to the new 2023 combo codes? Yep, that's what I've been doing. When I rewrote the 2023 notes, now if the particular example was just based off history or exam, because some of our stuff that we had last year, remember we had to match the history, exam, and MDM. We don't need any of those notes from last year. Don't write any of those. Where I had to have, the history was a 2-3, the exam was a 2-1, and then the MDM was a 2-3 or a 2-4, and then we had to figure out what it was based off 2 of 2 or 3 of 3. We don't do none of that no more, so don't carry none of that over. And then these new questions that I've been showing since January 1 will be added to your notes left over that we can use from 2022. So these are all modifiers. If these modifiers are not located in the CPT book, all modifiers are in another book called HitPicks. So just in case, there is another book that has extensive list of other modifiers, but these can be mostly listed right on the CPT book on the front cover, the very front cover of the book. Plus there's an appendix in the back. But thinking about our differences of what those codes are, of our modifiers, let's see. Let me get to that real quick here. Our 32 is a mandated service. 33 is a preventative service. Our 22 is an increase. And 24 is an unplanned. So with that in mind, we'll see what the question has for us. They're modifiers. Thank you, Go-Kart. Discord is pretty cool. I want to make it better. I've seen some other people have other fancier stuff in it, so I want to fix it somehow. But we've got practice exam rooms, question rooms. We've got what to expect on exam day. We have all the books, the CPT, the ICD-10, HitPicks, all separated out with info in there. Other certifications, you can sell your books in there. You can buy books. You can get anatomy help, job resources, continuing education support, even job assessments. I've been posting if you're trying to get a job, how to apply, also what questions might be on their assessment in case you get asked to do an assessment, what it might look like. Anybody that's taken an exam from an employer before they got a job can send me those copies of their exams, and then I post them in here so that y'all get a look at them and see what they were asked to code. Super helpful. Study buddies, practice code. Lots of help. So if a health plan requests a consultation such as a second opinion before the health plan approves treatment, which modifier would be used? I have a couple of 22s and 32s. What does everybody on TikTok think? Thank you for the 2,000 likes and the 6 shares on TikTok. $33 is preventative services. It is our 32, our mandated services. So if the insurance company is requesting anything, that's mandated. We have to be beholden to the health plan. They control what we can give our patients, what we can't give our patients, and what we have to give our patients. They control it all. We gave it all, we gave them all the power. So that is a mandated service. They even have more control than the physicians do. All right. Again, with E&M, we want to know what all the headers are for all the codes that are possible answers before we look at our question. So, what is our 99205? No worries, Go-Kart. It's high. Anybody know the new minutes yet? How many new minutes? We got high. I don't know if they switched them. I don't think they switched them. I don't think they switched the minutes. 60 to 74 minutes. Yeah. Not bad. On that. Good, 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 good. What about the 04? That is moderate, right? We're going to be moderate. And we're going to have under 60. So 59 and lower. What about our 03? Our 03 is going to be low. And what's going on with this 417 this year? That's going to be 44 and lower. What's our 417? Child of mine, that is in your guidelines in the front of your ICD-10 book. Look at your G6, G7 pages in the front of your ICD-10 book. You'll be able to find that exact wording underneath the diabetes guidelines. And that is a question you should know the answer to for your medical coding certification exam. By heart, write it in. It's a really good question to know. Prolonged services. Do we ever code that by itself like this? Would this ever be like this? I mean, unless it's asking what is your second code for this example, it's highly unlikely this one would ever be the answer. Especially if it's all by itself and there is no second code. This one isn't done by itself. It's added to. Which code would it be added to? Yeah, it would only be added to the 05, I think, if our guideline's the same on that one this year. I would assume so, because all these times go up individually. So anything over the 74 minutes. So if we had 75 minutes plus, we could add our 17 to the back end of that 05. But anyway, D is definitely not going to be our answer. We got ourselves down to a 50-50 shot, at least on that one. So are we moderate, low, or high? What are we doing with this patient? Joanne, I'm sorry. I've moved past and I don't know which thing I said to write. Are you talking about the relationship of diabetes or something here with this E&M question? Good Lord. Good job, Veronica. Yes, that's where the 14 goes. Perfect. Yep, we've got our time and our high. They happen to match up really easily today, so with this question, so super easy. It's so nice not to have to do the history in the exam anymore. All right, what's going on with these codes? What kind of code is the 99218? Those used to be codes for observation. We can't code those no more. So we can get rid of A altogether. What is our 99238? Joanne. The diabetes question that the lady had, there is a guideline in the front of your ICD-10 book. It's these pages that are labeled G1, G2, G3, and so forth. There's a section back there that's called diabetes, and it goes through how to code diabetes. That particular question she had is some of the small fine print at the very end of that section, and that is a very important question to know and understand, and move that guideline to your diabetes section in the ICD-10 book, like E10 and E11, where those actual real codes are at, because during your CPC exam, you're going to be running from number to number. You're really not going to go focusing up in the front to those guidelines, and it's really nice to move some of those guidelines, like that particular question, which disease has a relationship with diabetes that's just automatic, assumed, known to be associated with it, and write it right there at the E10 and E11 area. Hospital discharge. Yep, we've got a discharge. And then what is our 99238? Oh, 99221. We're only going to do the first ones. This one's discharge. And what is our 221? All these codes are even in the 2021 book. They're all there. Yep, this is admit into the hospital. They're just out of sequence because they move them around the E&M sections, so it does get tricky to find them. So now that we know our headers for the beginning of each answer, that's all you need to have. Now we're ready to look at our question. Are we admitting the patient today, or did we discharge the patient today? That's all we need to look for in the question. Don't look anywhere else for anything else, because the rest is all garbage. We don't need to know who they are, why they were there. We're not coding. We're doing a word search. Go see, what did we do with the patient today? What do you think the answer is? You're welcome, child of mine. That's a very good question. That question that you picked out is, you're going to see it again on the exam, I promise. If you still can't find the answer, DM me in Discord, in chat, and I'll help you out specifically to answer that question. I don't mean to be vague and just tell you, go look here, because that's kind of rude, but I'm happy to help you if you can't find it, always. I just want to challenge you just a little bit. Everybody pick and see. Everybody's pick and see. Yep. Nikki, we are definitely not discharging. If we are doing initial, the AKA word for that is always admit. And I go through my entire E&M section, and anytime it says the word initial, I put a line through it and I just write admit over the top of it. Just like that in the whole entire E&M section. That way I know this is admit. That just makes it more, I don't know. Initial doesn't seem like it's the first time I see you and I admit you into the hospital. I don't know what initial means, but that doesn't mean that in my head. So I change them all to admit, that I know this is you being admitted to the hospital today. Yep. Y'all are going to be in for a treat because I wrote my own questions coming up pretty soon. We'll have fun with those in a minute. In 2023, you can report office and outpatient consultations with these codes. In which place of service? Thank you, Twinkle. No worries, Temple. So this is a guideline, right? Where is this consultation? Right before you do consultations? Yep, it's one of those guidelines. It'll be on page 18 of your 2023 CPT book. The answer to this question. Hello, my Travis. What's up?
How am I Converse?
No. I said when you get a week of going to school with no suspension, you can have your Converse, baby. If you're going to be mean to me, I'm going to make it 2 weeks. You're not going to browbeat me into it, buddy. Huh? Travis, come here. Travis, come here. My child. Is this the face that I deserve? Huh? After this and this? Huh? Is it? If this is the face I deserve, we're going to do 2 weeks. We're going to do 2, okay? Gotta learn. I see that we've got 3 that start off with the word office. So I'd hyperfixate on that. Which codes do we no longer have anymore? And you might be able to get rid of something like that. Like, do we have residents being coded anymore? Do we have rest homes being coded anymore? Hey MK, how's it going? We're just doing some new 2023 E&Ms. So we can report these consultation codes with what place of services? I've got one D. Got some more D's. Got some A's. It is D. We can do it in the regular office setting, emergency room, home, or residence. They don't have rest homes anymore. I wonder what's wrong with... Oh, no observation. We can do ER. We can do consultations in the ER, but we don't do them under observation, which is funny. We used to last year. We had pulmonology come down in observation and do a consult on somebody. All right. True or false? Only one MD can bill a CPO each month, and only the MD who does and sign the certificate for Medicare, for home health, or hospice care may be the billing physician for the CPO. If you don't know what CPO means, you need to get that acronym written down in your E&M section when I tell you what the answer is. It's trash can night. It was a blustery day today. I already had the trash cans brought down, but then the wind blew them over like 16 times. So we've been chasing garbage down the street all day. So have the neighbors. It's been quite funny out here in Arizona today. All right, I see a bunch of falses. So we can have multiple doctors taking care of a patient and billing randomly each month for a patient, because that's what you're saying if you say false. If you're billing for total care of a patient for an entire month, does the MD need to match up with the orders and with the billing? That's what they're asking. Certified pre-owned. Okay, MK. What about a care plan? We've got a care plan oversight. So in home health, I work on CHAPS audits too, and I help home health companies pass their CHAPS audits. But this actually is a CPC exam type of question that you might see. So, but it is a place where you can go and get a job too as home health agencies. And this kind of information will help you out. You need to make sure the ordering physician for a patient is also the same billing physician, and you need to have the signed orders and the chart and all this stuff, and it all has to match. And you only bill once every 30 days. So that is true. And that acronym is Care Plan Oversight, CPO. I usually write some of those laws and stuff that I need to have. I'm getting there. On these advertisement pages, like, see where the very beginning of the book, it says CPT 2023. It's just the very freaking beginning of the book. I don't know why y'all on YouTube. Oh, I got 30% battery. I gotta put the thing on charge. Any white space available, laws and stuff, I put in the very front. I even put a list of what fraud and abuse is, what the differences are, so that I have that list down. just these front pages, and I gotta go find me a charger for this thing because this one's gonna, TikTok's gonna die if I don't plug it up. There we go. There we go. We got charger. We shall travel. You don't like the wording of that one? I know. If you don't like the wording of this question, wait till you get to the CPC exam. That's why I say avoid reading any of the questions. They're all, we'll say a statement, backtrack on it, rearrange it and circle it around, and then end up where you're all confused. So try your very best. Medicare, try to pick out just words. Only one MD, Medicare, maybe MD billing, and CPO. You know your care plan needs to be only one MD now. Now that you've seen this question, if you see it again, try not to read all the garbage in between. You're just, if you ever see only one MD, Medicare, CPO, you know it is true or false or whatever. All right, what kind of code is 99232? I forgot this one isn't touchscreen. Here we go. Subsequent hospital. 245 is consult, right? Kind of code is 68. Is there a 68? Maybe it's 4. Let's try that. 468. Yeah, Nikki, please try not to read the questions. Avoid it. Let the codes tell you what to go look for in the question and only look for that one thing. This is NICU, right? What is 462? Here for the epic. Thank you for subscribing. Really appreciate you hanging in there, contributing to the content on TikTok. Neonatal critical care. All right. What's going on with this patient? Which one is subsequent? For our newborn care. Yes, I did. I crossed out all the words, said initial, and I wrote admit over the top of them all. I don't think we're going to be birthing center, right? We're not at a birthing center any longer. Where's our babies? Well, these codes are all over the place. This one wasn't critical care. This one was subsequent. Hospital also. So we know we're not here. We know we're not here. It's a difference between these two. And they just want to know, do you know the differences between these subsequents? Keep looking. You got to keep looking. I don't want to tell you what page numbers they're on because you really got to get good at looking for these. And it is difficult. It is so difficult. But I promise you there is a 468. Can't get my camera to focus on it, but you need to get into the good habit of finding those codes and those numbers, because it won't do you any good if I tell you what page number it's on and then you can't find it during the middle of your exam. So these E&M codes are just all over the place. It's a hot mess. You got to keep looking till you find it. Yes, we got D now. Perfect. All right, what kind of code is our 291? Good job. It's on page 44 in the 2023 book. Yep, you're correct. It's a pain in the butt, but it's really good for you to go look up those codes. Thank you for the hearts. I got almost 4,000 likes tonight on the TikTok. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Critical care. We've got ER. We've got consult. And we have admit hospital, maybe. You want to get that good and that fast at going through them and just looking at the numbers and knowing which ones they are without looking in your book. Super handy to do and have that knowledge, because you got enough to worry about with the guidelines that are going to be attached to them anyway. So it's really nice to have that all figured out. For this one, what would y'all code? In an emergency room, the MD treats a client in shock, performs a high complexity MDM. Surgeon stabilizes the case after 25 minutes, and the client is no longer in immediate life-threatening danger. What would we bill? There's a guideline attached to this one. Life-threatening issues are usually coded in critical care, so they're trying to convince you that that's going on. But we have a time issue. If we do not have 30 minutes or more in critical care time, we can't bill it, so we do have to bill for our ER. Perfect. Perfect. Good job. All right, let's see. Ooh, some more modifiers. Anybody know this one? For split or shared claims, which modifier? Oops. Be sure you have that marked up in your book, YouTubers. Super important to know that timeline. The question just says which modifier must be on a split or shared claim. That's all. What certification do I recommend after CPC? CPMA, because I love auditing and I'm an auditor, and I think auditing is the best thing ever. Everybody's scared of auditors, and they pretty much leave you alone to do your work. So I love auditing. I think it's great. CRC is super popular. Risk adjustment, because that's just keeping money into the facility. You want to find out who your sickest patients are and get them treated. Send physicians and even nurse practitioners to their home, whatever you got to do to keep them out of the emergency room and the hospitals to cut cost. So you really want to intervene on that. So a lot of people love hiring CRCs. Also, what's your passion? Do you love peds or cardiology or vascular stuff? Did your grandmother die of oncology and you just want to help cancer patients? Then you could go into that. Those kind of specialties too are awesome, and they always need somebody in something like that. So whatever you're good at or wanna be good at, or whatever your worst subject is and you want to learn it more than anything else, then pick that. But I love auditing. I'm partial to that. And then I know a lot of groups love hiring CRCs too. So this one is FS, guys. FS. For split and shared claims, you're going to use the modifier FS. You're welcome. Good job, YouTube. Selecting MDM is based off what? Components. For 2023, is it physical exam, the number of problems being addressed, the amount of data being reviewed, or the risk of complications? Find what? Oh, those modifiers are in your HitPix book. That's another book besides the CPT and the ICD-10. Did y'all listen to the question as I read it? Because no one has said the correct answer on YouTube or TikTok. I wrote this question, so I planned it for you guys to miss it, but still, reread it again and think about what I said. Well, I don't have that book yet. Okay, that makes sense. You're going crazy trying to find it? Yeah. Sorry, April. For 2023, when selecting MDM, it's based on all these components except, so you're looking for an incorrect answer. Which one is incorrect? AAPC will do that too, where you have to find the incorrect answer. Joanna got it right. Angela got it right. Claudia, Temple, there you go. Love and Me got it. Pamela got it. Good job, guys. Jeb got it right off the bat. So did Leah. Rachel, you did too. Good job. A is the right answer. We used to do MDM with history and physical exam. We no longer do it with that. We do MDM, and MDM has 3 components. The 3 components that MDM has is the number of problems being addressed, the amount of data being reviewed, and the risk of complications. That 3 things are how you come up with MDM. And that's muy important to know for 2023. Thank you, Jane, for the follow. Thank you. I got 5,000 likes on TikTok tonight. Yay. MK, what are you doing, dear? A is the answer. Because I wrote except, so we were looking for the wrong answer. So how you find MDM for 2023 is you have to look for the number of problems, the amount of data reviewed, and you have to look for the risk for the patient. Those 3 things make up MDM this year. All new. Okay. Past medical history and physical exam are not the 3 components for MDM this year. So, just so you know. All right. I wrote this one too. Problems being addressed included. Consideration for further tested. What am I writing? Problems being addressed is included. I probably forgot an is. My grammar is awful. Problems being addressed is included in consideration. How about that? Maybe that'll make more sense. Still not big enough for you guys on YouTube. Such a small question. Trying to get it all on the screen for YouTube and make it better. The consideration for YouTube. Okay, there we go. This one's true. Look at page 7. See, Joanne, I knew somebody was going to ask me about what page. So if you're in the 2023 book, the guideline for this and where I found it to write it as a question and stuff is all on page 7. That's where you find out what the components are for MDM. Those are at the very, very tippy top. Right there, those PowerPoints, little tippy top. Right there. Those are the 3 components of MDM. 3 little bullet points. Then you can find things like what makes up a problem, what makes up whatever else. And they have these examples right sprinkled through there. So be sure you give page 7 a good old read there. All right. Oh, Lord. All right. Notation in managing the problem without additional assessments does qualify as being addressed by the MD for reporting the services. If they make a notation in managing the problem without any other additional assessments, does that qualify as addressing the issue. I doubt these will be in the 2022 book because these are new guidelines. Good night, Miss Sands. I will have to look and see if MDM is still done that way in 2022. Because MDM, it might be in there. Yep, it's there. Page 12. Page 12. All right, true or false on this one? Good job, Closet. That one's false. It's also on page 7, second column. Anesthesia. Some actual codes we can find and do. So if we were doing code 01712, what is our one-word difference for this procedure? If we were doing 12, it's an open procedure, right? If we were doing the 10, right up above it, it's an NOS, not elsewhere specified, which probably isn't the answer. 14 is a plasty. And then the last one is 16. Is a rupture. So just knowing those differences will definitely help you in the exam. We're just going to go do a word search for something matching like that throughout this and see if we can find anything that helps. Thank you for the ice cream cone. Thank you for the follows. Y'all are awesome. Hope I can help you guys pass your exam. Any of them working on a tendon? I see some C's and B's. Good night. See you guys later. Is it getting late? How long have I been on? Yeah, 15 more minutes, I think. Because of the bicep. B is correct. Good job. Good job. What kind of code is 0019T? I like to look for similarities. I see 3 that all start off with the same word as category, so I'd probably think about that. I'd probably get rid of B. And then I just go look at my definitions for what is a category 1, 2, or 3 code, or go run to that code to see what section it's under. Thank you for the follows. I hope I can help you out with the coding, passing your medical coding certification exam. Hey, there's one. I was looking for you earlier. Good to see you. D is the correct answer. Good job. Here's some more that I wrote, my own questions. The amount of complexity of data to be reviewed and analyzed includes all of what except for which one of these? So underneath MDM, we had those 3 components, and one of them ended up being data. Well, data in itself is made up of its own components. So what would that look like if we were reviewing the analyzed data? What kind of items would be underneath that section of that MDM? It's an eye stent. Oh, and I would hate to have stents in my eyes. Oh my goodness. Hey, Jin. Hey, because. So this will be again up there around page 7. I don't know if y'all are in the 2022 or 2023, or around page 12. There will be a list of what items are included in data. You're looking for an incorrect answer. Only one of them is incorrect. Yep, it should be in 2022, book 2, around page 12. 16. Thank you, Dawn. Consideration for alternate level of care. Good job, guys. That is a risk assessment. So all the other ones were actually data that can be reviewed, including discussing with external MDs, interpretation of tests, independent historians, family members. That's all data. But alternate level of care, like sending the patient to the hospital because they don't have anybody at home that can manage their care right now, that is a risk. Yeah. Tough question. I make tough questions. What about this one? Risk of complications includes which one of the following except for which one is not risk? I know, I make hard questions, don't I? I'm sorry, go-kart. That's why I was always like trying to find questions, and because I knew if I made y'all questions, they don't want me making AAPC exam questions because, good Lord, nobody'd pass. Yes, Jin, they're hard. But I think these are important because now MDM is captured differently. We don't have history and exam and MDM, and y'all really need to learn what are the components of risk, what are the components of those 3 MDM considerations. They could be, Joanne. One question that we went over got me thinking that y'all need to know all the different components of these. And so I wrote up my own. They could very well be. Which one of these is not risk? Good, Kay. Good, Maggie. Mary. Good job. The number of problems being addressed. So if we go back to what makes up the MDM on that page, what did I say it was? 7? So the 3 components that make up MDM is the test results, the independent, and the discussion management. So that's pretty cool, but for the, I gotta show YouTube too. So underneath this heading, it says guidelines for selecting the MDM. There's 3 components. 1 and 2 are here. That's the number of complexity of problems is all by itself. That's one whole component. It goes by itself. And then the other component is the amount of data reviewed. And then it tells you what types of data that can be there. And then the next page, sorry, YouTube. It tells you that the risk to the patient is the 3rd component. So knowing those 3, trying to find you, YouTube, so I can, yeah, there we go. There's the risk. Knowing the 3, but then knowing what's inside each 3 could very well be important. But this question, yeah, there's 3 of those components, and then there's 3 things that are inside each one of those components too. So it can get super tricky. But I thought these 2 columns right here are super important for 2023. You see how it's all green font? It's all been rewritten. It's all new for this year. So I had that one question about what are the 3 components of MDM, the number of complexity, the amount of data, and then the risk for the patient, which is also how they redid that chart that used to be on page, what was it on? What was that chart on? Page, I forgot the page numbers, 11 or 12, 13, 14. They redid all of this, where last year it had other things up here. Now it only has the number of complexity of the problems, then it's got the amount of the data that was reviewed, and then now it has the risk. So those are your 3 components for everything on that chart now. Last year, what did we have? We had a bunch of other stuff that was on that chart. And they even took away the codes next to them. So we no longer have those codes listed, but they still have those 3 things mentioned right here. And they're making them very prevalent in all their questions that I'm seeing in all of their magazine articles. And they just published an MDM survival guide for 2023, and they made these elements of MDM decision making super important for that. So this is what the chart looked like for 2020. Let's see if I can switch that around. There we go. For 2022, that chart that's on page 17 and 18, they describe the elements of the MDM right there. For 2023, all they did was get rid of the codes. We don't have those anymore over here, the 99205 and the 215. For some reason, they just got rid of those and just kept the high and stuff right there. But they seem to be going into more depth about what these three components are, more than they ever have. So just want to make sure you know what the different components are inside each one, like what makes up risk, what makes up the data, and then how the number of complexities will affect whether you're going low, medium, or high. Well, that's what I was doing. Sorry, I had to let YouTube see a little bit of this so that you guys could see it too. That's where I'm coming from with these difficulter questions. But just think, if you can answer these, you can answer anything AAPC throws at you. All right, I got some rapid fire anatomy questions coming up next. We could be done with E&M for a minute, let your brains recuperate. But I did pick my toughest anatomy questions, like partial thickness wounds are considered what? I've either got damaged tissue, and I gotta make it smaller so it all fits on one page so you guys can see it all. So what is considered a partial wound thickness? But it's 42 pages long. Goodness. If AAPC is going to pick a question, it'll be from the AMA CPT book that everybody gets. They'll pick something in these guidelines that are written in this book. They won't pick anything from that 43-page document. If it's written in the front of the CPT book, they could use it. Partial thickness, I do not think it's going to go down to muscle or bone. So that would be a full thickness. So we're only doing partial thickness. So I don't think C is going to be your answer. Thanks, Twinkle. So that might help out a little bit. We got A. A is going to be our answer. Damage just to the epidermal layer only. Okay, partial thickness means just surface layers. Full thickness will be down to the bone and muscle, okay? Where is the prudential nerve? I love this question. It was on my CPC exam. I don't know if it's been on there since then, but that was 2019. Limited means you only do a certain amount of area, where unlimited can do all of the area. You're welcome, Jen. Don't forget you can watch the replays on YouTube anytime. Yes, it is A. Good job. What about a patient having something done on some muscle? Where is that muscle located? Can turn off that, and then that way y'all don't have to worry about that being there, looking at my ink pens and glasses I don't wear. There you go. Good job. If we're entering the front of the body and exiting the back, where are we? And knowing where to run to find the answer for these, in case you don't know, is super helpful because the answers to all my questions are in the books. Where would you go if you didn't know the answer to this question to see where the answer is? There's a way to answer it with just your open books that you have. You could go to XXIV of the CPT book and look it up there. It's in the very beginning before the E&M section. Aw, thank you, Mary. You are awesome. Thank you, guys. We got 8,000 likes on the live on TikTok and 9 shares. We are going anterior, posterior. And there's the definitions for all of them, which you could write in on that XXIV page number of your CPT book in case you needed them. All right, which of the following is not a bone in the hand? Thank you, Twinkle. Thank you, Maggie. We will do medicine and lab and path on Wednesday. I got a request about those, so we'll do those on Wednesday. Tarsal, good job. Which of the following regions is posterior surface of the thorax? A lot of people got this one wrong the last time I presented it. I got A's and D's. A's and D's. We're B. We're B. There's the definitions to all of them. I will do my best to find some new code questions on Wednesday for medicine. All right, this one, I like this one because it had 2nd degree burn. Is what? Is that a full thickness, a superficial burn, partial thickness, or a chemical burn? I will try to find some. I got tutoring with somebody in the morning. Somebody new. Who have I got in the morning? Sydney. And I got Latanya Thursday and Wednesday, MK. I gotta put you down. That's somebody else on Thursday too. Good gracious. That's MK, isn't it? Yep, MK. Thursday too. C. Correct. Good job. Which one is not true about a human fetus? Yeah, A, B, and C. Lots of answers. Hey, Chris. D is the answer. Because we're looking for an incorrect answer. We were looking for one that is not true. The fetus is held above the cervix inside the uterus, and it said it was holding it below and outside the uterus. You got to make sure. Their questions are a pain because a lot of times you think you're looking for a correct answer and you go find it. Oh, that's correct, and move on. Not on these wordy ones. Sometimes you're looking for an incorrect answer. It's a pain. All right, one more E and M. Not going to say a word. Y'all tell me what the answer is, and then we'll shut it off. I know, Jen. They're such a pain. They will trick you. I mean, they actually hire psychologists that know human nature, and they put wording in there based off their recommendations, knowing how to confuse you on the exam. If you're the least bit shaky on anything, then if you read the question, you're going to get confused. You'd have to be super knowledgeable, 100% unfallible to be able to read all the questions and pick out the answer. You would have to be super seasoned with their exam questions, not with coding, because if you're coding in the real world, you'll get all those guidelines mixed up with your exam guidelines and it doesn't work. So you absolutely have to avoid reading the questions. Go look at the codes. See what the differences are on the codes. We've got hospitalizations and we've got admit versus subsequent hospital visits. Are we on the first day or are we on a middle day? What are we doing with this patient? So the patient's already been in the hospital for 2 days. We know we're not doing any admits. We can get rid of those. Now we just need to match up any MDM or time, whatever might be possible, and that's it. Which one's low? Out of these, which one's low? This is admit and discharge, though. Patient's not discharged. Patient's not safe to go home. So we didn't discharge them. So the only way it could be is that one, A. I see way too many D's in YouTube. We have to do some more of that. I'll grab some more of these for Wednesday too, but we got to do some medicine and some lab on Wednesday for sure, guys. And I am going to go try to finish another section of the 2023 right now and get that posted up for you guys. I hope everything else is running smoothly. That's really great news. We got 2 new passes and we got 3 new grants. Good information for a Monday. I hope this has been helpful. I'm sorry about the YouTube being no volume, no audio for the first 5 minutes, but I eventually figured it out. Thank you guys. Thank you for the 8,000 likes and the 9 shares on TikTok and all the pizzas and balloons and everything else y'all gave. I really appreciate it. Good night, Juan. Good night, YouTube. I appreciate you guys. I'll see y'all again on Wednesday night. Thank you, Jen. Love you too. Y'all make it all worth it. I feel so needed again, which is so nice. Good night, guys. You're a lab coder. That's awesome. I used to run a lab in Memphis, Tennessee, many moons ago. Loved working the lab. Good night.